Hello, grand day to you. Welcome back to another episode of the Shift and Serve show. So, we're all about shifting your mind here, shifting your internal world so that you can get back in alignment with who you truly are, back in alignment with God, feeling connected, feeling, abundant and loving and joyful and peaceful and just in that God state, I call it. And so we teach you how to shift internally to get back into that state and then show up in service to humanity and to the world by sharing your gifts, by sharing your message, by sharing who you are. That's what we're all about here, okay? So welcome back. If you're new here, my name's Morrison. I'm the founder of Shift and Serve. We have been around for about eight plus years now. I've been doing this. We are a multiple seven-figure company where we specialize in helping women take their expertise of health, wellness, and fitness and just life and mindset and all of the transformations they've had in their own life. We help them put that into a program and a package that they can sell online and create a life of freedom. Okay, so just a few years ago, if you guys don't know my story really quick, you know it if you've been here, but I was in a 9-to-5 job as a loan officer. I was teaching personal training on the side, boot camps, fitness classes, broke as a joke, burnt out, didn't really know. I knew I was always meant for more, but I was like, I don't know how, I don't know what. So maybe that's where you are. Maybe you know that online coaching is calling you, but either way, this video is going to be very, very, very valuable. And if you're watching this in 2025, COVID was about 5 years ago, like online coaching, the online space is really blowing up, right? It is about a $300 billion industry right now. And it is projected that in the next 3 or so years to be a $1 trillion industry. So it's going to triple, you guys, $1 trillion industry, the online space with AI, everything coming out, just all of this stuff. Okay. But don't let that freak you out. Don't let that deter you. If anything, it's very exciting. And what I want to talk about in this video is bring it back to the mindset, bring it back to that everything in life comes down to beliefs. It comes down to thoughts, which a belief is a repeated thought. It's a thought you've thought so many times that it is a paved pathway in your brain that is a deep groove that is really hard for you to go a different path that isn't as set because you haven't thought those thoughts. And that's why a lot of us are living the same life because we're repeating the same thoughts. We have the same beliefs and we don't wake up and look around and question our reality and start to create new thoughts, new pathways, and therefore new realities. Okay. So what I want to talk about is if you feel this draw or this calling to start a business, to become a coach, to go online, to build a life of freedom. Yes, a lot of times in the beginning, the drive is financial. You want to get out of your job. But what I want to talk about today is that there's a lot of stuff online. You know what I mean? There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of distractions. And you have to understand this foundation and this concept that every person, including yourself, every person that you're watching, including me right now, has a belief system. I have a certain experience in my life that has caused me to think certain thoughts, that has created certain set beliefs in myself. And that's where the term limiting belief comes from, is we all have limitations to what's possible based off our programming. And our programming is from our parents, it's from our educators, it's from culture, it's from society. And if you don't wake up and realize this and start to say, okay, who am I? Why am I here? Why do I have the parents that I have? Why did I have the upbringing that I had? Why did I have the life path that I had? Why did I have the marriage or the divorce or, the bankruptcy or the family member dying, whatever challenges you've had in your life, that is for a divine purpose and that is for a divine reason. And if you don't wake up and start to acknowledge and be grateful for those things and realize they're shaping you and they're supporting you and they're your divine purpose, you will be in this you'll basically be in this place where you on your deathbed someday and you're like, I didn't do that thing that I came here to do, right? And so I want to talk to you my point in this video is you have to wake up first off, and then secondly, start questioning your life. Start questioning the people around you. your environment and ask yourself, what do these people believe, right? So if you look at your best friends, your mom, your spouse, your dad, your children, whatever, okay? The people that you spend the most time with, you guys have heard, you are the 5 people you spend the most time with. You're the people you spend the most time with and the books that you read. And the concept behind that is you are a product of your environment, okay? So whatever other people believe, whatever their limiting beliefs are, whatever their paradigm is and their worldview, if you do not have this realization and awakening within yourself, you will be just like the rest of them, okay? And that's why if you're watching this, you probably already in that phase where you've been waking up and you know you're meant for more, and you're like, okay, for me it was, I was enrolled to go to college and I was about to take out a $10,000 loan, and I was 18, and I remember meeting people that were in like direct sales and they were making $10,000 a month. And so you guys like how I have no written on my hand? That's to remind me to say no to certain things. But anyways, what was I just saying? Where I don't know what I was just saying, but you basically, my point is, if you don't wake up and look around you and say, okay, what do I want in my life? And you have to realize that most people around you are living in the limited perspective of reality. And the way to change this is to start looking, and that's why social media is so powerful, is because you can be like, wow, this girl seems just like me. She doesn't have any extra crazy skills that I don't have. She wasn't from a rich family or whatever, yet she's built this $1 million company online. Maybe she knows something that I don't know. And my biggest tip is only take advice from people that have the life that you want. And most of the time, the reason they call it family is because family is familiar. The reason they call it paternal is because paternal is a pattern. Okay? So you have to understand, like, the English language drops hints a lot that everything is from our programming. Okay? And so that's why when you start to have this awakening, you realize you have to change who you're surrounding yourself with. And that's why one of my other biggest tips is hire a mentor. Pay somebody who has the life and the results that you want. Even though you don't necessarily understand entirely how they did it, there's a level of faith that is required to be successful. And when you find someone that has those results and you put your blinders on and you listen to them instead of what mom and dad say, instead of what your high school friends and your college friends say, who do not have the results that you want in finances, in their body, in their relationships. Most people are broke, depressed, overweight. Like, that's just the reality. Like, and even if they're not overweight or broke, they're not thriving, they're probably just getting by and doing just good enough. And we were not meant to do just good enough. Another one of my favorite quotes is, you're either growing or you're dying. So if you are not expanding, you're contracting, okay? So the point of this message is, look around you, who has the life that you want, and start kind of shutting down when people give you advice that don't have what you want. Like, say thank you. Thank you for that perspective. And then inside of yourself say, I don't accept that belief, right? Beliefs like, oh, money's hard, a recession's coming, online is a scam, whatever is a scam. Oh, I can't even think of it right now. Whatever people are saying that's negative, and oh, the market's saturated, and oh, you can't do that. Like, no, dude, there's literally no limitations. You are a divine spiritual being, and this physical world is an illusion. You are in this life for but a moment. The Bible says you're here for a vapor. Your reality in this earth is a vapor. So when you stop stressing and realize it's not that mother freaking serious, but you need to get outside of the paradigm and the beliefs that you have inside of yourself right now. And you do that by surrounding yourself with people that think bigger than you, okay? That's the main point of this video, is change your environment, question the beliefs, stop listening to people that don't have what you want. And another thing that I'm going to say is, when you get going and you start your business, it's going to require a level of leadership within yourself. And that's what's so cool, is when you have a mentor, you're following their leadership, so that you can become more like this, and then you can turn around and lead other people, okay? And so that's what's so fun and what's also so empowering, and why this industry is so transformative, not just for your finances, but for your life, is because you have to walk your talk. You cannot be successful if you don't follow a calendar, if you don't do the internal mindset work, if you don't handle your money well and spend time with your money and look at your money and budget your money. And I don't like the word budget, but you know what I mean? Like, allocate your money and understand that it's going to be really painful and challenging in the beginning, because you're coming up against your loved ones, basically. A lot of times it's our family is the most that does not understand and will not support it, not because they don't believe in you and they don't love you, but because they're supporting you through their limited lens of reality. They're speaking from their limitations, not your limitations, okay? So you kind of have to have a little bit of a chip on your shoulder. You have to be resolved and decided. To decide is to cut off other options. You say, no, I'm going to build this business. I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be financially independent. I'm going to be the fittest person and healthiest person in my family. Cancer ends with me. Poverty ends with me. Everything ends with me, right? And that's what's so cool too, is like, culture and society, there are people that are waking up and wanting more of this and wanting to grow and do all these things, right? So again, the point is, change your environment, question the beliefs, and know that when you are building something, you have to be in leadership, leading yourself, walking your talk. And one of my other favorite quotes, I have so many, is what you coach on the most is what you need the most coaching on, right? And that's why I can go off about this stuff. It's because I'm challenged all the time, guys. I actually am back home. I live in Arizona, and then I go to Montana in the summer where I'm from. And I've been back home more in Montana around my mom and my dad. My parents are divorced. I'm the oldest of 4 siblings, and I have nieces and nephews. And it's just so crazy because I built my company. I ended up, and maybe you have to do this, I had to move away from my hometown. I had to move to Scottsdale and get around the successful people to have that environment and build my company. And now I've kind of come back where I'm successful and I have these beliefs really instilled inside of me. But that resistance comes up against it, and it's been challenging. I'm not going to lie to you guys. It's been another level of growth for me, right? And that's how God will work through you starting a business or improving any area of your life. Is it's going to be challenging, and it's not that serious. You don't have to stress about it. You can anticipate the challenge and make it a game and make it fun, and just know it's literally as simple as controlling the narrative and the perspective of what you're experiencing. Okay. So just shifting from, oh, this is happening to me, to like, this is literally happening for me to make me stronger and to grow me so that my vessel and my capacity can expand and I can hold more and I can have more responsibility and more abundance and more wealth and more fun. Okay. God is a God of infinite expansion. It's a lie from the pit of hell or whatever that you are this restricted person who has a limited amount of time and a limited amount of finances and a limited amount of health. It's bullshit. You have an abundance of everything. And when you start to wake up, there will be a period of transition where it's hard because you're releasing and the old self is dying. The ego is dying. The flesh is dying. And you're coming into your God state, into your salvation, into your heaven. And that's really what it's about. Okay. So I'll be doing more videos on like ego and transitioning and just religion, all that stuff. I'm really into the spiritual, the mindset side, but this is a very simple message of question your beliefs, change your environment, lead yourself to lead others, walk your talk. All right. So hopefully that hit home. It resonated today. It's what you needed for the week. Guys, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week and your day. Check out any of the other episodes. We really dive deep on spirituality and mindset here. But you're in the right place if you are just growing and expanding and wanting to change the world. As cliche as it is, it's so real. So it's that ripple effect. When you change inside, you affect the people closest to you, they affect other people, and that is how heaven is going to come to earth. All right. I love you guys. Have a beautiful rest of your week. I'll see you on the next episode.